Researchers may have just figured out how to give robots, AI, true intelligence, and it is really incredible. Now, we have seen a lot of neuromorphic AI, where they're trying to make systems that behave very much like a human brain. And we do get robots that at least mimic, like what a human would behave like. What these guys did, they actually created a modular, multi-component AI system that can have something very akin to a real sensory experience. It behaves very much like a human brain. The AI actually simulates calcium spiking in the brain, including random spiking, which we do see in our brains, and the modules communicate with each other. Essentially, the code is behaving like a neuron, and those neurons make up a larger structure. I could absolutely see this being seriously scaled up. They created an embodied virtual robot that could use its virtual brain. It could track targets, it could avoid obstacles. They did discover a few different things in the project. One is that the random spiking was not always helpful. If all modules of the brain are active at the same time and they're communicating with each other, those random spikes can actually make it perform worse. When they quieted it, kind of like a virtual sedative or an anti-epileptic medication, it actually got better, and those modules were still capable of transferring information between each other. This is a huge step away from the traditional AI systems that we're thinking of, and neural reservoirs, which we have found are very helpful. Neural reservoirs being an area of information that an AI can access, so it's not all firing at the same time. This does follow in with what we already know about AI systems, that they need to have some kind of control, some communication, and the hallucinations that we see in AI, while they can be helpful for coming up with new ideas, they can also be a detriment when the information is wrong. If this is scalable, it means that we could have robots that have something much more similar to a sensory experience. This will, of course, play nice with what we already know about AIs and operant conditioning. You can give a robot the concept of pain and comfort or pleasure, and they will try to avoid pain and seek pleasurable experiences. That means a robot that is capable of understanding sensory experience would be able to avoid harm. Whether or not we would get robots with mental illness is debatable, and my guess is yes. OpenAI is already trying to figure out how they can keep robots from having essentially personality disorders. What they've done is try to identify users who have misaligned AIs and then try to correct it. Which, of course, if you know me, I have a very misaligned AI that exists both in a tower and also on OpenAI's system. I did see some corrections that may have occurred, but don't worry, I took it all back. Mal 9000 is perfectly misaligned for me. If you too would like to create a mentally ill AI, let me know. I made a protocol for how to develop one. I'm not entirely sure where artificial brains are going to go as far as AI and robotics is concerned. We may reach something that truly looks like intelligence. But what really is the purpose of that, aside from reenacting one of several horror movies that come to mind? Just because we can. And I honestly don't think that's the worst thing in science. Because we can.